we're gonna make stuffed peppers. I love stuffed peppers, and I love how versatile they are. Meaning that you can have it in a number of flavors. You can have it Asian, you can have it Mexican, you can have it Italian, and you can use the vegetables that you like. If you don't particularly like the ones I'm using, you can change it up. My ingredients for today. We're gonna be using spinach, ground turkey, rice, scallions and onions mixture, mushrooms. This is eggplant. We're gonna have some cheese, garlic. I'm using some jalapeno peppers. These are all spices. This is onion powder, garlic powder, a little salt, and this is a dry broth mix. You're gonna have a marinara sauce, which I season my marinara sauce with a little Italian seasoning, a little onion and garlic powder, and a tablespoon of sugar because the sugar cuts the acid. You're gonna use soy sauce, and we're going to use some sweet chili sauce. And of course, we're going to use these beautiful peppers right here. It doesn't matter what color, it kind of matters what size. You can't use a small pepper, but these beautiful peppers right here are going to do the trick. All right, we're going to saute our ground turkey. I'm going to break this down, and because, like I said, I'm going to make this two different ways, we're not going to automatically just combine everything. You can add a little of our garlic into our ground turkey and our spices. And of course, we're just going to cook this until it's well done. Because I'm using ground turkey, it's not going to have a whole lot of fat. I added a little oil to the pan. But if you're using beef or lamb, it might have a lot of fat drained off. You can just pour that off after you finish cooking it. And if you want, you can add some of your onions to that. I'm going to use them for another version, so I'm only going to use part of them. There's no set measurements for onions and garlic and things like that. It's how much you like. If you're a person that like a lot, you're gonna put a lot. If you're a person that don't like onions at all, you don't have to put the onions. You can use something else. You can use cabbage. You can use bok choy. Right now, we are steaming off my spinach right here. I'm just wilting it down. I'm gonna get this so it's nice and well done. We don't want to see any pink. We want it ground up, but if you don't even, it doesn't have to be finely ground up. If you want to leave some chunk pieces in there, it depends on how you like it. Okay, that should be just about done. So I'm going to remove part of it. Now you see this juice, if you want to leave that in there, that's really like the water off of the turkey. It's flavor. It's not a whole lot. It's not fat. It's not that much fat. It is some dark meat turkey in here, but that's good. But if you had a lot of that, I would drain it off. This is done. So I'm going to remove part of this for my other dish. Okay. Okay, so now within this, I'm going to turn it down some because it's cooked. I'm going to mix that spinach in there. And you can turn this down low. And I'm going to mix part of my rice. I'm going to break the spinach up. I'm going to put some of this rice, half of this rice in here. And you can use whichever rice you like. I like brown rice. This is jasmine rice. Whichever type of rice that you like. Add a little bit more to that. You can use, I'm using the mozzarella cheese, but if you want to use a mixture of cheeses. You can put cheddar inside, mozzarella on top, or vice versa, however you like it. Just want to taste, see if the seasoning. That's good. I'm going to now put my half of this part of the marinara sauce in there. Stir up my seasoning in there. I'm going to put part of that inside. You can really turn this off because this is going to be one stuffing. And if you want to add a little bit of mozzarella to it, you're going to use more cheese on this, so I don't add a lot on the inside. You're going to have a lot on the top. And this is one of the stuffings I'm going to use. So we can set this to the side for right now. So right now, this is the rest of the onions and garlic and the peppers, the habanero peppers. I'm just going to saute them down, let them get a little tender. Once they get just a little tender, because they're still going to cook. You're going to cook this in the oven. It doesn't have to be totally done. That's fine. I just want to take off part of those, add them to my meat that's over there. I'm going to also add my mushrooms in here and let them get a little soft. You can add some spice to this to season them. And with the vegetables, I might just drop a little water on it so it can do some steam. Let that steam down. Takes only about a minute. So in this, once that steams, I'm going to add a little bit of soy sauce. I also want this on the meat. Add a little Thai chili sauce. Just a little. I mean, it's to what you like. And for this one, I'm going to add my eggplant. This is eggplant that has been marinated ahead of time. It's called eggplant bacon, and we're going to do that on another show. But I love the flavors in this. And I'm going to show you how to do a vegan. This is all vegan. There's no meat or nothing in this one. Then I'm going to add my rice. And I like to cook my rice ahead of time. I like to cook it a day early, but you don't have to do that. You can cook it the same day. I just think that it works out better when it's cold. Okay, that's just about done. You can set that to the side. Now with this one, I'm just going to heat some rice in there. Just going to mix this up so that the flavors can get married together. The rice in with the meat. I'm going to mix all of that. And if that's not enough, we'll add a little bit more soy sauce to it. And I'm not big on a lot of cheese in mine, so these I'm not putting cheese in. So this one here, with this meat, you want it a little more saucy. With the, you can even add a little chicken broth if you would like it to be a little more saucy for you. I don't like it too wet, but some people might like it a little more wet. Okay, so that should be fine. We can turn that off. Now that's our stuffings. Got 3 different stuffings, an Italian one, Asian one, and a vegetarian Asian. If you want to add a little sesame oil, I'll add a little sesame oil to it, or some sesame seeds or something like that to jazz it up, but that's the flavors. All right, so we're going to take the core out of these first peppers. I'm going to first take my marinara sauce and I'm going to pour it into the bottom of my pan. So we're just going to spread that on the bottom of the pan. Then we're going to start putting our peppers in there. I'm going to cut one of these beautiful yellow ones. Core that. Lay that in the pan. And we're going to take our rice with our spinach and cheese mixture and start filling up those peppers. If you happen to have a little too much filling left, you can stuff it, you can put it around your peppers. Stuffing is still good, whether it's in it or around it. That's just extra stuffing. But you stuff the peppers as full as you can. I'm going to take the cheese. Well, I'm going to say this. If you want to bake it ahead of time first for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then put your cheese on for another 5 and 10 minutes, usually I would do that, because this way you don't have to worry about all your cheese just kind of melting away for 30 minutes in the oven. Some people want to cook it on top, you can go ahead. I will cover this with a piece of foil. Put the dish in a preheated 400-degree oven for 30 minutes or until the peppers are tender. Then you're going to take the cover off for 10 minutes, put all your cheese on top, and then put it back in there for another 10 minutes. Covering it helps the peppers to steam. You want them to steam. Okay, so now we're going to stuff our peppers. This is the Asian flavor. Like I said, with the ground meat and soy sauce and the chili sauce and the peppers. We want to get all of that inside. This is a pretty big pepper here. I just didn't cut too much off the top, but there's plenty of room to stuff it. And with this dish, because we're not using a tomato sauce, I'm going to show you. I take a little bit of broth, just a little, any kind of vegetable broth or whatever, just a little bit to put on the bottom. And because this is my Asian flavor, I'm going to just a little bit of soy sauce in that broth. So now that's those two. Now with this one, I'm just going to kind of like cut it a little so I can get that core out of there. You can pretty much pull up the whole core. I wanted you to see it good on the inside. If you can't reach it with your hand, just take out all that white part and the seeds. I'm gonna dump them right out. This is my vegetarian. You can make it vegan if you want, but this is my eggplant with my mushrooms and rice. Well, in that one, I do want a little cheese, so I like feta. So I'm going to mix just a little bit of feta inside there and mix it all inside of it. And that's what I'm going to stuff the third pepper with. It's going to be overstuffed down in there. I'm going to put that right in the dish with my other ones. Now, the first pan we did, I cut them in half. We're going to do it like laying them out flat, but then you can do the whole peppers like this. You're going to cover it the same way with a piece of aluminum foil, cook it for 30 minutes, then take the foil off and let it cook for another 10 minutes. And